Good morning, Vietnam! What's up, Life22? It's Kevin. I did a podcast a little bit earlier with Quinn. We were reading a book, and we might make that part of the regular thing. Just wanted to introduce everybody to February. Also wanted to apologize. I know there's been a big lull in doing podcasts within the last month or so. Between baby Lennox, he went to the hospital again. I'm sure I discussed that in the January podcast. We had jumped into January, which was good. I focused on comedy. I know a lot of other people focused on other things. I didn't hear really much back from our viewers. Come on, people. I started a comedy journal. So that was my New Year's resolution, was to get more into comedy. I'm taking Tim the bartender's lead. He was talking about it, and that's really something I was always fond of, was comedy. This channel is a great outlet, and so starting a comedy journal was a good kickstart, and that's kind of what Jump Into January was. It's your kickstart. It's your laying your foundation for the house of whatever you're building that year, which is a good thing to do. And essentially, your double down in December is going to be good for double down December. If you don't know, so we've already come up with there's Sober October, which we didn't come up with that, but we stole it from what other people already do. No Shave November, which is way more popular, that people or has more notoriety. And then there's we didn't have anything for December, and I said, well, what about Double Down December? So if you participated in Sober October and No Shave November, well, that means you don't double down December. You're doing everything you've done throughout the entire year, just all in December. So you're sober, you're not shaving. For girls, this is real easy for you. No Shave November is super easy. Makes you super not easy, because if you're not shaving your legs, you ward off the bandit. And so it still stays smoky, right? Got to keep hydrated. Anyways, so the jump into January this year was comedy and building the house the comedy built. We're doing, focusing my New Year's resolution. So I'll continue the New Year's resolution throughout the entire few months until December, at which point we'll be putting the roof on the house. So hopefully we'll have some so if you were to lose a certain weight, goals, whatever you had, eat less, whatever your goal was, do a lot of the prep work, do a lot of the foundation, to set your goal forward, and then work on it each month. You don't have to set as much time working on it as you would in January, but in December, you need to have your goals prepared, and that's kind of where the double down comes from. So Fishuary, whatever you'd like to call it, it's Fish February. All right. A lot of people miss out on, either don't like fish. They miss out on fish. Fish is very healthy for you. It's very good. It's high in omega oils and just plenty of vitamins and things like that you don't get in your ordinary diet. I mean, it's good for everybody. So in February, which today's February 1st, and we had fish fry from the Ancient Order of Hibernians, or at least the person who rents their kitchen and has an established business there. On Friday nights, he's open to the public, and he does a fish fry, and it is delicious. It's to die for. I hadn't been there in a few years, actually, because I forget about fish. You forget about fish. Everybody forgets about fish. So I forgot about fish. And then tonight, it's February 1st, so let's do this Fishuary thing. It's something I was kind of kicking around. It was better than some of the other ideas I had for February, because nobody really has claimed any of the other months, right? There's No Shave November, Sober October, and then I came up with Double Down December. So Jump Into January was something that because there's nothing online for any of these things. So right now I'm a pioneer. And so I've been kicking around that. It was way better than the French Kiss February, which is where you meet and greet any stranger or person you meet or greet, or salutation to. Instead of a handshake, a high five, a wave, you French kiss them, which didn't go over well with people I suggested it to. So it's better than that. People suggested Frisky February, where you stay sexually active. Other people, we talked about Frozen February. It wasn't a big taker. It was more or less you go out and enjoy the frozen weather or climate. So depending on where you are in the country or on the globe, might determine how you partake frozen February. Here we can, run for half an hour a day or equivalent to. So if you want to run for, 3.5 hours on Sundays or Saturdays or whatever, or do a half an hour a day or an hour every other day. That was kind of what we were talking about. Ended up just sticking with Fish February. So taking a reminder on fish. So right here, not our sponsor. Wish it was our sponsor. But it is a part of every one meal throughout your day. So if you only eat one meal a day, you don't like fish, this is going to suck for you, but who cares? One meal of every day, you have to have fish, right? Fish has to be a part of it. And it can't just be like, I got like the bacon bit equivalent of fish, fish bits sprinkled on my salad and that's good. No, it has to be the star. It has to be the opening act, okay? Or not the opening act, but the headliner, right? Like, so you have fish fry, right? Like the big piece of fish, just like your steak or anything else, it's the entree. It's what you're there for, and it's not a side. So I'll probably end up making mine like a lunch or something every day using these or kipper snacks. June hates fish. She's going to hate me. I start to smell like nitrogen. Yeah, and, tuna melts, tuna boats. There's tons of things that you can do to get more fish in your diet. Try to shake it up with fish. Try to try new fish. Sushi's always a good one. At the coffee shop, we have our house special, which a lot of people like. And you don't have it outside of New York City, right? Like bagel and lox. That's right. It's a bagel. Bagel, butter, eggs, cheese, salmon, and then, eggs, salmon, cheese, and then you do, and it's smoked salmon. And then on top of that, on the top part of the bagel is cream cheese, or sour cream with chives, which are a form of onion, and they're whipped into it, and we just kind of spread that on there, and people really like that. It's our house special, and the amount. It's not the amount of, that's borderline, right? Like in my book, that's borderline. This is not. There's no judge and jury on these things. These are things for you guys to determine as the partakers of the tournament. If that satisfies your fishuary, then so be it. Tuna melt in the morning. Like, listen, right? There's just as much English muffin as there is tuna to a tuna melt, typically. So, is a tuna melt count? Yeah, but I would still shake it up a little bit, right? That's why the recommendation's there to shake it up. Maybe you have sardines for lunch. Maybe you think that you're too light on your fish intake on breakfast, and so you do a light intake on lunch, and that's to each their own. Regulate yourself. It's not me. This is you. These are personal goals for people, right? Like, fish is very healthy for you. If you forget about fish, so that 1 month a year that you remind yourself about fish. We're still coming up with March. We don't have April, May, June, July, August, and September. We have October, November, December, January, and now February. So today we had the local fish fry. Me and the kids, my personal favorite. It's a baked haddock. It's the pepper haddock. Pepper jack haddock. It's delicious. I got the kids a lemon pepper haddock, and I also just got them just a straight up baked haddock. There's salt potatoes with it. It's coleslaw. I think it's like $10.95 plus tax. You can't beat it. If you know a member while you're there, you can sign in with as a guest and use that member and get yourself a Guinness or Rolling Rock on draft. They've got a nice selection of bottles. Smittix. Nobody carries Smittix around. A lot of people like it. It's just, it's good. It's good fish fry, and so probably tomorrow morning I'm probably gonna start with like, when I eat, right? June yells all the time because the kids are just like me and they're eating and eating and eating. So what's ended up happening is we're gonna end up having, I'm probably gonna have like 4 tuna melts in the morning tomorrow, 4 tuna melts, and then I do this thing with fish where I got into. Hope that didn't open. Yeah. Yikes. I got in this thing. I was setting raccoon traps at a job I had a year ago, and it was very cool that I never really had sardines. I never really had fish products. So I bought a whole bunch of different varieties of fish products last year, and I kind of got into them, and they're kind of cool, and I didn't keep them in my regular diet all the time, but I started thinking about like one of my favorite chicken wing mixes, which was like it's hot sauce and blue cheese. They call it Daryl down at the local bar, and this Daryl style is very tasty. Well, sardines also come in hot sauce, and you mix hot sauce, sardines, a little blue cheese, and then you need some kind of like a breading, right? So you can put it over biscuits or put it over you know, noodles or whatever, and I just call it my fish stings, my Daryl fish stings, and you know, it's very tasty. That would be a good lunch. So walking into Fishuary, if you're hesitant about fish, this is a good excuse to get into fish. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's healthy for you, right? Like nobody likes vegetables either, but they're good for you. They're super healthy. Like, eat them. You want to live longer, right? If you don't eat them, I don't want to hear your opinion because I don't have to, you know, in like 5 years you'll be dead. So that's, I mean, not just the fish, it's everything. Plants love it. Speaking of plants, as much as I try to support local establishments, they also got to appreciate the big giants, the Amazons.com. Found they've got all sorts of cool stuff. So Quinn got me the Chewbacca coffee mug for Christmas. That was really cool. I drink my coffee or tea in the morning in that. It's pretty sweet. And then I was Lachlan's got his hair kind of like, and I got him to say I am Groot, and I thought it was really cool. So recently I was on there and I saw this pen holder slash plant planner for your office, and you know, it was like $6. You couldn't beat it. 2-day free shipping with Prime membership. It sits on my desk, and I planted tonight with Quinn a walking onion. It was at my grandmother's house. We're not really sure if the walking onion was left there by my cousin Daniel, who lived downstairs and was into gardening, or if, you know, either way, it was soaking up the nutrients of the soil that like 3 generations of my mom's family was on. So I mean, there's some kind of nostalgia there, right? So it's a little planter. It's kind of cool, right? So just, and I'll have onions here in the office. Little green onions. These things are spicy, these walking onions. If you want some, let me know. This thing will start producing bulbs here. Probably get them into my garden this year. So I have tons of bulbs. I'm always willing to share from my garden. Share and share alike. So if you're into that, get at me. But yeah, Fishuary. Fishuary. Yeah. That's what it is. So try more fish. And every day doing fish. 1 meal a day. Or what have you. 1 large snack. One something substantial that is fish. I think if we did all fish, like all you could eat was fish, I think you'd end up with gout. Too much protein. In the kidneys, liver, something like that. It's too much protein, but it's undigested protein, so you really have to have deficiencies in other things. So I'm assuming if all you're eating is fish and other things like vegetables and other vitamins that are left out that help digest protein. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, so but from what I've understand, that's really like a good chunk of it. So, but we'll catch you guys soon. We've got a lot of other cool things to talk about on the podcast this month. Kind of winding back into it, just getting back into just everything. So, I know you guys want to see more of the kids. I know people are complaining they want to hear more. They want to see the Wild Kevin come out, and political season is upon us. And we'll talk more about that maybe over the weekend, maybe Monday or Tuesday, and we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share the videos. We have a Patreon, which does nothing but check that out too. We always we appreciate your patronage. And yeah, Life22, back at you.